Live. It stars Over the Prairie with 8-time Minnesota Music Award-winning songwriter, musician, author, and historian, Paul Metsa. Check out previous show podcasts at KDAL610.com. Now, here's Paul Metsa.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Stars Over the Prairie. This is your host, Paul Metsa, with weekly with my wingman, Chris Allen. We've got some great guests on today. We're going to be hearing a little gypsy jazz from my buddy Sam Miltich, one of the best guitar players in Minnesota, resides in Grand Rapids, Minnesota, up there on the Iron Range. He's got a big show coming up in Silver Bay on Saturday, December 27th. And then live in the studio, big time choral music from the Twin Ports Choral Project, doing the climax of Handel's Messiah. Live in the studio, we got 4 of them. And if you're just tuning in to Stars Over the Prairie for your first time and you're wondering, what do they do on Stars Over the Prairie? Well, we interview stars, people that used to be stars, people that want to be stars, people that just want to go outside at night and look at the stars while they're drinking a cold one. We broadcast from the Zenith City by the Unsalted Sea, Duluth, Minnesota. Our studio is 237 somersaults down the hill from Bob Dylan's childhood home and just a stone's throw away from Bob Dylan Way. We've been on the air for almost 2 years, bringing you great music, culture, history, comedy, and more. Chris, how's your week been going?
It's been long. I was on the radio all day. And when I say all day, I started at 6 in the morning with our sister station KQ Morning Show. And then I took over solo 10 till 3. Then I was on with the afternoon train wreck with our buddy Tom Robick. And that was until 6. And then at 6 o'clock, I took over and I was on until midnight.
Wow. So I'm guessing when you go home, you don't listen to the radio.
On the way home, that's all I had on. No.
Oh, I had a good gig last night. My weekly gig at Carmody's Irish Pub, 308 East Superior Street. But I lost my first pair of winter gloves.
No.
I bought 2 pair last month. My goal is to keep at least 1 pair all winter. I trucked my guitar and amp from my home in Lincoln Park. Got there, set up, getting ready to go. Could not find my first pair of gloves. Now, I bought 2 pair, but that's a little early in the season for me to lose.
Yeah, it is. But you know what? It seems like that's going around because my girl lost her set. Tyler, that's on before us on the Tracy Lundeen show, he lost a pair of gloves yesterday. So there must be some glove magnet. They're all hanging out. It's like a Jerry Seinfeld bit.
Well, you know what they say, if you lose the sock in the dryer, it comes back as a Tupperware top that doesn't fit any of the bowls. Yeah, well, we're really excited, but we always like to, if you're having a birthday today, happy birthday. We always like to celebrate other greats having birthday. And the Mac Daddy of birthdays today, Chris Allen, is none other than Dick Van Dyke. Turns 100 years old today.
Yeah. He is so happy to make it. That's all he's been telling people. He says, if I die the next day, I'll die a happy man.
Well, his work spans screen and stage. His words include 6 Emmy Awards, a Grammy Award, a Tony Award. He will be inducted in the Hollywood Walk. He was inducted in the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1993. And, of course, he's been in television and films. Mary Poppins, of course, and what people of a certain age remember, the Dick Van Dyke Show with the great Mary Tyler Moore.
He's been a part of so many things. He was on the Carol Burnett Show, and he made guest appearances everywhere.
When Rob and Laura Petrie, when they were living in the town of New Rochelle, New York, which, of course, I was growing up in northern Minnesota, I had no idea where New Rochelle, New York was. When I moved to New York in 1995, I lived with a guy who I sorely missed. He passed away too soon, named Jerry Disrud, who had a girlfriend from New Rochelle. So we went to pick her up for a date. The 3 of us were going out for dinner. I go, so this is where Rob and Laura Petrie live.
Nice. Did you look them up?
We did not get a chance to look them up, but at least I could say I stepped foot in New Rochelle, New York, home of the Petries.
Yeah, that show broke so many TV rules, but the one rule that it didn't break is you never saw them get into bed together.
Right.
They had separate beds, and not only that, but Dick Van Dyke and Mary Tyler Moore both said they had to keep one foot on the floor somehow.
Wow.
They were not allowed to get fully into their bed. If one was in their bed, the other one had to have their foot on the floor or sitting on the bed.
Boy, and now with all the streaming services, that has certainly flipped on its side.
Yeah.
It's
You know who the first couple to get in a bed were?
No.
The Flintstones.
Well,
because they used to be prime time back in the day.
I always thought those guys had a little more going on than we were led to believe.
Who knew?
But anyway, let's get on. We're going to be calling our buddy Sam Militich here, and then, like I said, we've got the Twin Cities Choral Project coming in live. We've got 4 beautiful voices singing some pieces from Handel's Messiah. They might pull out a Christmas song as well. Let's listen to a little Sam Militich solo guitar playing, and then we'll get Mr. Sam on the phone. Oh, that is some fancy guitar picking by my guest, Sam Militich. We got Sam on the horn. Sam, how are you this morning?
I'm doing great, Paul. Good to hear your voice.
It's -2 in Duluth. What is it up there in Grand Rapids?
Oh, last I checked when I woke up at 8 o'clock, it was about 17 below. So.
Well, it is that time of year.
Yes, it is.
Sam, I have been a fan of your guitar playing since I heard you, I don't know, I'm going to guess 15, maybe 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah.
You came up in a great musical family. Tell us, I was doing when my book, Blue Guitar Highway, came up out in 2011. I did a reading at the Grand Rapids Library, and I was staying at a B&B with your brother, Tony, and we went back to the B&B and played all night. But Tony, your brother's a great guitar player, but I believe your dad also played, correct?
Yeah. Actually, Tony is my uncle and my dad's brother, and my dad is a player. So those guys actually played together in a band back in the a rock band in the 1970s, 1980s. So, I grew up with all my uncles played music. All my aunts sang. It was a big Catholic Iron Range family, 10 kids, and every single one of them was musical. So it was just it's just how I grew up. That was just normal for me.
What is that other great Grand Rapids family that are all musicians?
Yeah, there's actually a couple. There's the Downing family, and then there's also the LaPlante family. So we've got numerous families. There must be something in the water up here or something. I'm not sure, but
yeah, I did a gig and I had Pat Dowling play bass. I met a lot of you guys. If you remember, my good friend Booka, and of course his lovely wife Edith Michael,
of course,
from Grand Rapids. So he got when my band Cats and the Stars that are celebrating our 50th anniversary on December 28th at the Parkway Theater in Minneapolis. If I could throw that in there, brought us over to play at KAXE, KAXE, the great community radio station in Grand Rapids. So I got turned on just the beautiful music scene in Grand Rapids, Minnesota. But when did you get involved? Oh, you're very lucky. But when did you really get interested in jazz guitar, Sam Miletich?
That's a good question. I started playing. I was interested in jazz my whole life, so I have to sort of say even before the guitar, I wanted to play jazz piano when I was a little kid. So I remember hearing Duke Ellington and George Gershwin. My dad would play those records when I was little, and I heard it, and I just was enthralled by George Gershwin, Duke Ellington, Count Basie, all the big band stuff. Errol Garner was another guy that I absolutely loved. So I took piano lessons when I was about 5, and then when I was 13, I picked up the guitar so I could start playing with my uncles. Well, it wasn't very long after I had picked up the guitar that my dad had a Joe Pass record with Stefan Grappelli that I loved.
Oh, I love Joe Pass. I went to I'll have to dub it and send it to you. I went to, about 1978, I went to a Joe Pass tutorial, and I believe it was at Levon Wagner's Music. And I walked in with my guitar, and he was there, and he says, "Do I know you?" And I said, "No, Joe, but one day you will."
I love it. Yeah,
I love Joe.
So I was like, somewhere between 13 and 15, I got into jazz guitar, and then I heard Django Reinhardt when I was 14 or 15 years old, and then that was it. I just said, I'm just going to focus. I just have put almost all my focus into jazz guitar playing, and it's still as intriguing and challenging and wonderful as it ever was. It's lifelong learning that goes on with that. With everything, but jazz guitar. I'm still exploring, trying to find new pathways to go down.
What are some of your favorite jazz guitar players overall across the world? And then I want to talk about some of your favorite Minnesota guitarists.
Oh, sure. Well, number one, it's always Django Reinhardt, and then like my top 5 would be Django Reinhardt, Joe Pass. There's a great Canadian guitar player named Lenny Breau.
Oh, I love Lenny Breau. I had a guitar student that lived in Nashville. The first day he moved to Nashville, he went to a Lenny Breau gig and talked to him after the gig. Lenny needed a roommate, and this guy moved in with Lenny, and he actually had some cassettes that I wish I would have dubbed of Lenny sitting around the kitchen table coming home from the gig. Man. But Lenny Breau, of course, one of the great fingerstyle jazz guitar players, discovered by none other than Chet Atkins.
Chet Atkins, that's right. Yeah, so, Django, Joe Pass, Lenny Breau, I would say Wes Montgomery is in the top 5. And then probably I would say, like, Barney Kessel, I really love. Those guys have always been kind of big heroes to me. And then, I loved Herb Ellis. He did a lot of work with the Oscar Peterson Trio, and he was fantastic. And then as far as, like, more modern players that are playing now, there's Borelli Legrand, who lives in France, who I think he's the greatest living jazz guitar player. And I heard him when I was 18, and that was completely life-changing. I heard him again a couple years ago at the Dakota with Martin Taylor, who, Martin Taylor played with David Dog Grisman to back up Grappelli back in the 1970s. So, I got to hear Borelli with Martin Taylor in a duo, and I mean, both of those guys are way up on the top of my list for living jazz guitar players. And I mean, there's no shortage of inspiration out there in the world, that's for sure.
Well, you've got to love the man I had a pleasure studying with for a couple of years when I moved down to Minneapolis was Tim Sparks.
Oh gosh, I didn't know. Oh, okay. Well, I love Tim too. He's magnificent. We've had the opportunity to spend some time just, we did a guitar summit thing out in Fergus Falls, and so we hung out, at the bar after we did our workshops and sat and talked. One of the cool things about Tim, he's got a really open, expansive mind, and he has done a lot of fingerstyle arrangements for Balkan and Eastern European music, which is just right up my alley. So we were talking about that stuff, and I was telling him about my family history, and every encounter that I've had with him, I took a lesson with him way back when I was a teenager. I just love it. We've played we did like a double bill thing at the old Black Dog in St. Paul, or he was doing a duo and I was playing with my quartet. And yeah, he's a fabulous musician and just a overall cool guy to hang around too. He's really smart.
Oh no, he's. I believe he took one master class with Andre Segovia. But, Tim is the guy, and then I want to talk about your family background. But Tim was the only guy I know that I talked to him a few years ago. He said, I'm going on vacation. I said, where are you going? He goes, you think the Bahamas, Hawaii, Jamaica. He goes, Croatia. I'm going to Croatia. Right. And that's got to tie in. Tell us a little bit about your family history, because I know the show you're doing up at Silver Bay on Saturday, December 27th. Yeah, 27th, I believe. You're with Sam Militich and friends. It's going to be new music from the old country. So tell us about that, and tell us about your family's history and how that has influenced your music.
Sure. Well, my family history is not an uncommon story up in this part of the world. About 100 years ago, my great-grandpa and my great-grandma and my granddad, when he was a kid, were living in Dalmatia. They're on the Dalmatian coast of Croatia, so right on the Adriatic Sea. And my name, Militich, is actually the name of the village where our family came from. It's Militici is the name of the village. So Militici is just simply the plural of our last name. So, these folks came over about 100 years ago and wound up working in the iron mines, which was quite a contrast to the blue, warm Adriatic Sea and the palm trees and Mediterranean climate that they were used to over there. So, great-grandpa wound up working in the mines like everybody else up in Virginia, Minnesota. He grew up in North Side, is where the family house was, and I remember I'd play gigs over in Virginia when Tommy Rukavina was still alive.
Oh, yeah, the great Tommy Rukavina. Tommy the Commie, as they used to call him. But
right.
I played Tommy's 40th birthday party.
Oh, man, yeah. So, Tommy would come up to me and he'd say, hey, Sammy, I don't know if you know this, man, but, I knew your great-grandparents. I know your family, man. They just lived down the street. Andy and Mary were great people. And then he'd give me a hard time and say, hey, you should move back to Virginia, man. So, anyways, we were just tied into that East Range iron mining community. But, I wound up going back to Croatia this spring. I visited the home villages. Militici is close to Zadar, and then our other home village, my great-grandma's side, was down close to Dubrovnik, and then we had a branch that was in Ličajin County, which is close to Dalmatia. So I went back there, and I reconnected with family, and it was just a truly remarkable experience. But, kind of what happened is it spawned this musical idea where I grew up listening to, my dad played in a sort of a little tamburica band up here on the Iron Range with some other Slovenian and Croat and Serb guys, and they would play those old tamburica tunes like that Duquesne Tamburicans would play over at Iron World when they'd come, and so I always liked that music, and when I got back from my trip, it was like, I want to play this music, but I like to say I don't play Croatian music. I play Croatian American music, because we're not trying to be just exactly the way it would be in a traditional setting or even the Duquesne Tamburica setting. Like what we're trying to do with this band is we're trying to infuse that Django Reinhardt Hot Club improvisation into these old Croatian, Serbian songs. And then we've added other music from the klezmer repertoire. We've delved a lot into that, and so that's kind of the vibe. And what's really cool about this band is it's a large group. It's 5 pieces. So we have I play guitar and I play tamburica, and then my father Matthew plays upright bass. Then we have a violin, a clarinet, and a mandolin player as well. So
wow.
It's really big. Yeah, it's a really big sound, and, if you're an Iron Ranger, you're going to hear things like, you might recognize like Kukovica or Mariana, these songs, but we're going to be improvising over them, and, maybe some a little more advanced harmonies in the chord progressions, and it's going to have that fire that, Django Reinhardt's Hot Club Music had. And, I think there's a lot of overlap because, when I heard Django Reinhardt's music, he was Romany, and he's playing jazz music and he's playing Romany music, and I grew up listening to jazz. I was like, man, this sounds like the music I grew up with jazz and the music I grew up with tamburitza kind of rolled into one. So this new project was just a natural progression of, I think, my musical development and, passion. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I think people will really enjoy it. And for people who grew up on the range, especially my dad's generation or just a little older, they're going to recognize some of the tunes. And so far the reception has just been amazingly good. People love it. It's joyful music. I call it Balkan soul music,
Right.
Yeah, it just hits you in the heart. It's great stuff. So, and just so you know, Paul, we do actually have we have Metsa Kukia in the book as well.
Nice.
We have a finished song. So
beautiful. My friends Bill Hinckley and Judy Larson. Judy's still with us. Bill passed a while back, but they used to, when I would go see them play, they were really the godmother and godfather of the Minneapolis folk scene. They always would pull out a song called the Metsa Waltz, and I was always so honored. So I'd love to hear that one. So my guest, Sam Miletich, is playing up at the Silver Bay Reunion Hall. New music from the old country with his quartet. Or quintet, Sam Miletich and his friends, Saturday, December 27th from 7 to 10 p.m. So go check that out. Sam, couple of things. I would love to do a duo gig with you. I think you and I could swing very well together, and I'd love to back you, and I'd love to be able to solo over some of the rhythmic stuff that I think you could provide for me. It's been one of my dreams, and I just want to tell you I've got nothing but respect, number one, for your artistry, number two, for your love of your heritage and where you come from, and number three, for just being such a great guy.
Thank you, Paul. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm happy to drive over to Duluth anytime, and we'll hang and we'll play, and we'll let the music flow. That sounds wonderful to me.
We'll get you on the air live on Stars Over the Prairie. We're going to go out with a Sam Miletich song called Homesick, with a little bit of that flavor from the old country. Sam, have a beautiful gig. Have a wonderful holiday, and I look forward to seeing you.
Yeah, take care, Paul. Thank you so much.
Thanks, brother.
I'm Sydney, and I had Z LASIK at Weiss Eye Center. Oh man, camping and like being able to look up at the stars, or like wake up to the stars or wake up to the sun and not have to kind of fumble around to see where my glasses are. So I'm looking forward to that eventually. It's like getting out and enjoying nature with sort of no barrier. Oh, the staff were really great. Yeah, it was really, always felt pretty taken care of, and very friendly staff, and they were answering my questions even if they were like really, really trivial. It's something that you gotta have like sort of a bit of trust in this doctor.
Weiss Eye Center is the only clinic to offer blade-free Z LASIK in the Northland. To find out more and to arrange your free consultation, call 218-625-1917 today or visit WeissEyeCenter.com for more information. Weiss Eye Center. See the best.
Rocky Wall Entertainment is pleased to announce a live free concert featuring Sam Miltich and friends at the Silver Bay Reunion Hall on Saturday, December 27th, 7 p.m. Doors open at 6:15 p.m. Come join us as we send out 2025 and welcome 2026 in style with new music from the old country performed by Sam Miltich and friends. More information available at RockyWallEntertainment.org. See you there.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Skills First Hiring helps you see talent others miss, like more than 70 million stars, skilled through alternative routes. Hiring managers who start with skills are 60% more likely to find a successful hire. Learn why at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Stars Over the Prairie with 8-time Minnesota Music Awards winner Paul Metsa on KDAL.
And we're back to Stars Over the Prairie, and Paul stepping out for a little bit. So it's called Chris Allen's Time Waster. So maybe I'll just start with my guess here. Actually, I'm just going to talk to Patrick because I know Patrick. You do all the music at our church, and I was just going over some of the music, and I always say to myself, holy cow, you guys always pick such great music, and you have such great players that come in, and it's like a concert within a service.
Well, I always try to encourage people to think of it as bringing the community together rather than as a performance when it's in church.
Mm-hmm.
But I do a lot of performing outside of church, and I work with various community organizations, and the classical music community in Duluth is pretty tight knit.
Well, so just the music community, period, I think is pretty tight. Because I know I've been involved with all sides of the music community, and they seem to be really, really tight, and it's great. It's better support than it used to be.
Absolutely. And
let's get this.
Yeah, I had to come back. We're live on the air.
Oh, all right.
That's why I was talking. I was like, okay, Paul's not back, and then I don't even have any more time wasters, so I'm going to have to go ahead and start it.
That's okay. I had to go see a man about a horse. Well, great, right. Chris.
So I know years. Patrick here.
Oh, you do?
He does the music for the services that I do the video for. So we were talking about a lot of the local music and the support and the musicians and how the service always includes these great musicians and these great pieces that they perform. It's like a concert within a service.
Well, why don't we start out? What is your schedule in terms of songs today, ladies and gentlemen? Did you introduce everybody?
No, we got to go through that. I just basically had to get right into it before you got back.
That's all right. It's live radio. We're groovy. We can swing. All right, let's start with this lovely woman on my right. Introduce yourselves.
My name is Brianna Stolen. I am a Duluth native. I've been performing in various musical avenues for probably 20-odd years, mostly choral singing is what my background comprises of. But I've done stage work in opera and musical theater. Been with Twin Ports Choral Project for about a little over 4 years now, and it's been a really fun journey, really wild ride in terms of music, and I've learned a lot and gotten better over the years with them, so I'm excited to continue on.
And how about the lovely lady next to you? What is her story and name?
Hi, I'm Tasha Kapp. I'm also a Duluth native, and I've been singing in this community since I was itty-bitty little. I went to school here, college here, and I've been singing in Twin Ports at Borealis. I ring handbells, and I do a lot of kind of like last-minute, we need a soprano work in town. So.
Right, cool. Once again.
Hello, I'm Patrick Russell. I am the choir director and music director at Pilgrim Congregational Church here in Duluth. I'm originally from the Iron Range.
Whereabouts?
Aurora.
I used to have a girlfriend from Aurora named Renee Beloy.
I'm sure my aunts and uncles know her very well.
Anyway, she's a lovely gal. We went to senior prom together, I might add. Anyway.
Sure. I am a founding member of Twin Ports Choral Project and a co-founder of Borealis Chamber Artists. I've done a lot of work in town with Loon Opera and the Duluth Playhouse and UMD, St. Scholastica, UWS.
When you were growing up on the Iron Range, were you did you get interested in choral music early on, junior high, high school, something like that?
I went to high school in Duluth, and that's when I started doing choir.
Okay.
Up on the range, I played viola in the school orchestra.
Okay.
I was quite terrible at it, but I had a lot of fun.
And the man who I met about 6 months ago in the sauna at the Y downtown, my buddy Austin. Austin, I've never been able to pronounce your last name, but you put this whole thing together. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you joined these great organizations.
Of course. It's Austin Malarchik. Thank you for not butchering it on purpose. I appreciate that. No,
I didn't recognize you with your clothes on.
Yeah, of course. The saunas be getting a little bit crazy sometimes. So, my name is Austin Malarchik. I'm a choral singer. I graduated from Western Michigan University in 2021 with a bachelor's in choral music education with a focus on vocal jazz. And so since then, I have been a teacher a little bit, and I've kind of ventured outside of education as well. I mean, I worked in sheet metal for a little while. I worked in the oil field, and currently am the manager of North Shore Cottages up on 61 Scenic. Right.
Well, the reason why you and I started chatting, you had mentioned something. We were talking about music. That's what I love the sauna. You know, the conversations go always. But you had just had a little boy, I believe.
That's right. Calder, my son.
How's he doing?
He's doing great. He just turned a year old in November. So now I've got a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old, both freshly turned at home. And it's cool. It's an absolute whirlwind, a total adventure.
How did you hook up with these great folks?
Yeah, so I haven't been really active in the music scene for the last year or so, and I just was looking around. Last year I dabbled with Arrowhead Chorale just a little bit, and then I also had found out about these guys, so I auditioned with Patrick and Richard. And they accepted me into their ranks, and so we've been working hard ever since trying to get this music off the ground. So,
what selection are we going to hear first?
Yeah, so we're going to be hearing a little bit of Messiah. It's called an oratorio, and it's a whole lot of different sections of music. So this is section 47, and the chorus is going to be singing a part of that. It's an excerpt of the finale of the piece.
It's from the Twin Ports Choral Project.
Blessing and honor, glory and power be unto him, that sitteth upon the throne and unto the Lamb.
Blessing and honor, glory and power be unto him, that sitteth upon the throne
and unto the Lamb.
Blessing and honor, glory and power be unto him, that sitteth upon the throne,
and unto the Lamb.
Blessing and honor, glory and power be unto him forever.
Blessing and honor, glory and power be unto him, and unto the
Lamb.
On
the throne,
that sitteth upon the throne.
Blessing and honor, glory and power be unto him. Blessing and honor, glory and power be unto him forever. Blessing and honor, glory and power be unto him. Blessing and honor, glory and power be unto him. Blessing, honor, glory, and power be unto him.
Fantastic. Man, this is, we've had a lot of different kinds of music on, but we've never had a selection from Handel's Messiah, and it's the perfect time of year to have that on. Before we forget, you've got a couple of upcoming performances. Tell us about that.
We do. This Tuesday night at Mitchell Auditorium at the College of St. Scholastica, we're doing a free sing-along performance at 7 o'clock? At 7 o'clock at Mitchell Auditorium. There'll be scores there, or you can bring your own, come along and sing along with us. We'll have a full orchestra, choir, soloists, the whole thing. But the audience is encouraged to sing along.
So tell us about the orchestra. Is that part of the DSSO at all?
Probably 90% of our orchestra. We have a 22 22-piece orchestra
Wow.
this year. But probably 20 or 21 of them also play in the DSSO.
Wow. We've had Aaron Aldrich on, one of the main leaders in that orchestra, and a phenomenal violinist and fiddle player. She plays some great.
She plays a little bit of everything.
Aaron's phenomenal. She's not playing this concert, but she's playing for a concert in February.
Okay.
So you can go to BorealisChamberArtists.com and find out all about that. We're also, this week on Sunday the 21st, we're giving a full performance of Messiah. Not a sing-along performance, but a concert you can listen to of the entire work at the Cathedral of Our Lady of the Rosary in Duluth at 1 o'clock.
Wow. So how many people will be performing at that, at both shows?
We have a 22-piece orchestra, and I think there's 36 in the choir.
Yep, so 40.
Wow.
Plus 4 soloists, yes.
Now, so the Twin Ports Choral Project has been going on for 14 years, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. We started in 2011.
And were you the main guy? Were you the one?
I was not the main guy, no.
Tell us about whoever
it
that
started as sort of an experiment. Brett Amundsen was the director of choral activities at College of St. Scholastica. Tina Thielen-Gaffey was a choir director at UMD. And Cal Metz is a co-artistic director of Loon Opera. They all had a similar idea at the same time of starting a really awesome community choir, because we had so many people in town that didn't really have the opportunities to get together or enough opportunity. So we had this concert in, I think it was March of 2011, where we were sort of experimenting, did a lot of different kinds of music with 3 or 4 different conductors. And out of that came Twin Ports Choral Project. Brett Amundsen was our artistic director for many years. He's not in town anymore. He just moved to Colorado Springs for a big gig at the university there. But he's coming back this spring to direct a concert.
Tell us a little bit about. I love listening to choral music. I tune into when I can on the radio. But tell us about the Dale Worland Singers, the Concordia Choir. Tell us about the great history and legacy of choral music in Minnesota.
It's a huge part of the community in Minnesota, and a lot of it goes to the Lutheran Church. And just the power of bringing people together in a community for that. People in Minnesota aren't afraid to sing in front of others.
Yeah.
And doing it as a community is...
What's that? Come a little closer to me.
Singing as a community is really important, especially with everything that's going on in the world. Being able to relate to your neighbor on something very personal and spiritual like singing it really brings communities and people together in a way that you don't see all the time.
Yeah, and I think that like Duluth and like a really common very frequently spoken feedback I hear from a lot of people who aren't from this area they always say, I didn't know Duluth was such an artsy place. I said, of course, it's one of the biggest art hubs in the entire state. And when you talk about music in Minnesota and talk about Prince, and people are floored when you hear about Prince being from Minnesota, and then like the musical influence that all these artists from Minnesota have on every single genre. It's just such a cool, it's like a little hidden gem in the US.
And then you have in the popular music scene, Charlie Parr, Trampled by Turtles, and our guest last week, Al Sparhawk. And then, I was talking to Aaron, I wasn't able to make the show, the Duluth Symphony Orchestra. I'm going to make the next one in February. But anyway, we're going to have a little more music from the Twin Ports Choral Project. I'm so happy you guys are here. It's like the perfect holiday vibe here on Stars Over the Prairie, but we got to hear people that keep us on the air.
Rocky Wall Entertainment is pleased to announce in its winter concert series lineup, Sam Miltich and Friends performing Saturday, December 27th at the Reunion Hall in downtown Silver Bay. Show starts at 7, doors open at 6:15. Emma's Food Truck will be there. Silver Bay Liquor Lounge will be providing beverages. Come on down, see Sam Miltich and Friends performing new music from the old country. More information available at RockyWallEntertainment.org.
I'm Zach, and I had Z LASIK at Weiss Eye Center. I was sick of wearing glasses. I've had glasses since third grade. Dealing with the nuisance of glasses has kind of reached that point of I just need to get LASIK. I was a little nervous, but knowing now what that process all entailed, I wouldn't have been nervous if I knew. Everybody's really nice here. Not a bad thing to say about anybody. Everybody's happy, and everybody here's nice. And I mean, it's day one post-op, and I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Weiss Eye Center is the only clinic to offer blade-free Z LASIK in the Northland. To find out more and to arrange your free consultation, call 218-625-1917 today or visit weisseyecenter.com for more information. Weiss Eye Center. See the best.
Rocky Wall Entertainment is pleased to announce a live free concert featuring Sam Miltich and Friends at the Silver Bay Reunion Hall on Saturday, December 27th, 7 p.m. Doors open at 6:15 p.m. Come join us as we send out 2025 and welcome 2026 in style with new music from the old country performed by Sam Miltich and Friends. More information available at RockyWallEntertainment.org. See you there.
Twin Ports, Iron Range, and Northwest Wisconsin. This is Stars Over the Prairie with Paul Metsa on KDAL.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Metsa talking to you with my wingman, Chris Allen, and I am so enjoying my friends from the Twin Ports Choral Project here today. I think they're going to gift us. You got a little holiday song you could sing for us again?
Of course, it wouldn't be a Christmas season without a little bit of Silent Night. So we're just going to leave you with this one. Happy holidays to everybody, and thank you, Paul, for having us on. It's been an absolute pleasure. So
thanks for being here.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace.
Nothing says it's the holidays like Silent Night. Boy, that sounds so great. I want to ask you, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I want to put you on the spot. Because we started out with Sam Miltich, a great jazz guitar player, and of course jazz is about just improvisation. Do you guys ever get together and just groove vocally?
You know, I'll answer that. It's somewhat less common in the choral and orchestral world to just get together and jam, I've noticed. I think that it would be really, really fun to get together, and I'm opening the door for something to do that. So I would love to get together, and if there's ever jams around. Then
we used to do beer and hymns at St. Ben's.
Beer and hymns?
Benedict's, not St. Ben's. Very different.
Sir Ben's, right?
Sir Ben's, yeah, where we would just play on that piano, and everybody would, pick a note and go nuts and sing together. But
so if somebody do you have open enrollment? If somebody's out there in the radio audience and and lives in the Twin Ports and go, geez, I'd love to sing with these people, how would they get in touch with you to do that?
Visit twinportschoralproject.org, and right up at the top of the page, there's a section for auditions. And we're having another round of auditions in January.
Beautiful.
Come join us.
Yes,
Yeah.
very fun.
So I'm so delighted. It sounded so great. I'm going to go around the horn here and ask, what is each of your Christmas wishes to your friends, family, and the world? Have at it, starting with the lovely lady on my right.
I think my wish for this holiday season is health and prosperity to my friends, family, loved ones, all my peers, and, to each and every stranger. And just a strong hope that we can all regain a sense of community amongst all of us and understanding and empathy. I think we really need community in our world right now, and the holiday season is a perfect time to foster that and to create it. So that's my biggest hope for the world going into the new year, is a larger sense of community.
That's a beautiful sentiment. And yours?
Yeah, hard to follow that. I will try. Just that everyone feels a sense of purpose and that they belong somewhere, that they have a place to be understood and seen and heard and appreciated. That's more important, and I hope that we can all become that person that welcomes somebody we may not otherwise do.
That's beautiful.
I should say peace on earth, but
that's too Miss America.
Instead, I'm going to say sugar and booze.
There we go. There we go.
And last but not least, Mr. Austin, what do you've got to say? What's your wish?
Yeah, I was going to say peace on earth, but I was going to say it in a little bit more original terms. The word peace, I think, can mean so many things for so many people, but just to have the stillness of heart and mind, to be truly calm, to not be stressed out, to live in the moment, put the phone down for a while and just look at the people around you who love you and just feel peace in that moment, I think is really important and something that's really easy to lose track of these days. So,
not only did these 4 members of the Twin Ports Choral Project bring in some beautiful music, but also beautiful sentiments and thoughts for a better future. Thank you so much. Happy holidays, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Paul.
And love to have you in again anytime.
Contact us before the next concert, and then we can have more music in the studio.
We'll come sing for you anytime.
And now you have a direct line. You can just talk to me.
And you know what? We've got to do something that Austin started here, Chris Allen. Remember, he brought me a 6-pack of my favorite.
You got some liquor on the show. Nice.
Caribou Lake
that should be
beer
a rule.
by Earth Rider. It's my favorite beer being made in the Twin Ports.
You're the one that makes the rules for your show. Why are you saying that to everybody?
I think you can drink beer on the radio. I don't think you can on TV.
You know what I'm going to be doing for any of my friends that are listening around the country tonight? Saturday nights when Paul has a couple of cocktails, he starts dialing long distance to his buddies. So just give you a warning, my pals out there that are listening. Anyway, you folks have a great holiday. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. And thanks so much. All right.
Okay, so we have to have a little bit of filler, so I brought a filler that you're going to be impressed with. If you guys want to stick around and hear this. So my aunt did that DNA thing, and I did the DNA thing, and it tells you where your family came from, who you're related to, and stuff like that.
And you're related to Dracula.
No, I wish. That would be kind of fun, actually. I am related to Aretha Franklin.
Wow.
I am related to Leonard Cohen.
Wow.
Mama Cass.
Wow.
Paul McCartney. And Bob Dylan.
Holy moly.
Yes. In fact, I am most closest related to Bob Dylan.
Wow.
Yeah. Only 20 degrees.
And 237 somersaults down the hill.
Right, which means what,
18
18 grandpas ago? We were somehow connected in that way. But yeah, Paul McCartney is next, and then Aretha Franklin is after that.
Wow, that is so cool.
Yeah. I thought you'd be impressed. I was like, oh, I just found out I'm related to Bob Dylan. I'm going to impress him so much on the show.
Well, as I've said before, I was so delighted when I moved to Duluth, my first night in town, July 3rd, 2021. I rented the first floor of the Zimmerman home, which is 237 somersaults up the hill from here. And
it keeps growing, by the way. I don't know if you know that. It started at 235.
Bill Pagel, you know you're a Dylan collector not only when you have 19 or 20 of signed 1959 Hematite Hibbing High School annuals signed by Bob Dylan, but you owned both his houses. And I knew Bill, and it just worked out. I was moving from Minneapolis, where I'd lived for 40 years, up to Duluth, and it all kind of came together. One of my renter's duties was I had to man the guest book. And during the nice weather, there was always people outside taking pictures. And if I'd be having coffee in the morning or something stronger in the evening while the light was still out, they would come up and chat. I'd have them sign the guest book. People from 5 different countries, towns all over America, from retired couples traveling the country in their RVs to high school students going to youth camps in Wisconsin. I saw them all. And when we got along nicely, which I did, everybody was so kind, I would give them one of my CDs. And it was kind of like I was telling my harmonica about that harmonica player, Sonny Earl, but I goes, well, it's kind of like the Jehovah's Witnesses in reverse. Hey, you can follow me at paulmetsa.com. I got a new record out called Songs of Resistance and Resolve that you can get over at River City Records in Lincoln Park and more. And I got books and records and more, so follow me on that. We want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas. We're going to have another great show next week. And then Cats and the Stars, 50th anniversary, December 28th at the Parkway Theater in Minneapolis. We will be rocking and rolling.
And where do they get tickets?
Just go to the parkwaytheater.com.
There we go.
And like my dad used to tell me, remember to be kind and make someone happy.
Back in the days when I was a buckshot in short pants, spinning bottles with Tiger Jack. I remember Grandpa's European prayers in the bunkhouse. To these days I use those prayers to try to bring him back. Hand in hand with my brother and sisters, Chinese jump rope heart to heart. They ain't hiding, but they're just out of earshot. Hope to the heavens that worlds don't fall apart. And I wish I could see stars over the prairie, stars over the prairie tonight.